Hey everyone, it's Skylar. Welcome back to my channel, and we are on to day 20 of 31 days of November challenge month. And this part to it is a movie that is over 2 hours long from that decade. Now I have chosen a movie that is 2 hours and 36 minutes long. Boy, is it quite long, and I love this movie. Sorry, but I do have a little bit of a liking to this film. This film came out in 1979 and it stars a great actor from a film that I really do like, which came out in 1971. And the actor I like is Malcolm McDowell. And you'll know what the 1971 movie is, but anyway, I haven't chosen that movie, but I've chosen this one. And the movie I've chosen is Caligula. You're probably wondering, why is she chosen Caligula for? I just wanted to get that out there because I do really like this film. So anyway, and one of the reasons why I like it so much, it's directed by a great director, and I own quite a few of his films. It's directed by Tinto Brass. Principal photographer is also Tinto Brass. Additional scenes is Giancarlo Lu and Bob Giaconi. Produced by Bob Giaconi and Franco Rossellini. Written by Tinto Brass and Malcolm McDowell. Giancarlo Lu and Bob Giaconi, who are all uncredited. Based on original screenplay by Gore Vidal. Starring Malcolm McDowell as Caligula, Teresa Anna Savoy as Drusilla, Guido Manari as Macro, Patrick Allen as Macro. He was the English dub voice, but that was uncredited. John Deland as Neva, Peter O'Toole as Tiberius, Giancarlo Badessi as Claudius, Helen Mirren, you'll be surprised, she is actually in this film, as Cassonia, John Steiner as Longimus, Paolo Bonicelli as Cera, Leopoldo Triste as Charicles, Adriana Asti as Enia, Mirella D'Angelo as Livia, Richard Parrott as Menster, Donato Placido as Proculus, Osidri Pevarello as Giants, Annika Di Lorenzo as Messalina, Laurie Wagner as Agrippina, Bruno Breve as Gemulus, Paula Mitchell as Subra Singh. Music by Paul Clements. Musical excerpts Adam Khachatrian and Sergei Prokofiev. Sorry, I'm not well at certain foreign names, but I'm trying my best. Cinematography is Silvano Ippoliti, edited by Nino Bragali. The production. Russell Lloyd, uncredited. Production company Penthouse Films International, Felix Cinematografia. Distributed by Produzioni Atlas Consorzini PAC Italia. Analyst Film Releasing Corporation in the US. Release date 14th of August 1979 in Italy. And running time is 156 minutes, which equals to 2 hours 36 minutes. And the reason why I like this movie so much, I will tell you at the end. And it's not because of sex scenes or nothing like that. I'll tell you right at the end. The movie starts off with Caligula, who is the young heir to the throne of his great uncle Emperor Tiberius. Then one morning a blackbird flies into his room and Caligula thinks it's a bad omen. After that, the head of the Praetorian Guard, Macro, tells Caligula that Tiberius demands his presence at Capri. Sorry, I need my drink. And that's where the emperor lives with his close friend Nerva, a dim-witted relative Claudius, and Caligula's younger stepbrother Gemellus. Fearing assassination, Caligula is afraid to leave, but his sister and lover Drusilla tells him to go. At Capri, Caligula finds that Tiberius is getting worse by the day and is embittered by Roman politics. Tiberius enjoys swimming with naked youths and watches degrading sex shows which often include children and deformed people. Caligula looks on with fascination and horror. Then tensions rise when Tiberius tries to poison Caligula in front of Gemellus. Then Nerva commits suicide and Caligula tries to kill Tiberius. Macro shows his loyalty to Caligula by killing Tiberius, and Gemellus watches on. Then after Tiberius' burial, Caligula is now the new emperor and Drusilla is his equal, which disgusts the Roman Senate. Drusilla, is fearful of Macro's influences, tells Caligula to get rid of him. So Caligula sets up a trial and Gemellus testifies that Macro murdered Tiberius alone. Then Macro's wife Ennia is banished from Rome after Macro is executed by a public game. Then Caligula appoints Longus as his personal assistant and pronounces the docile senator Chaerea as the new head of the Praetorian Guard. Drusilla tries to find Caligula a wife among the priestess of the goddess Isis, the cult they secretly practice. Caligula wants to marry Drusilla, but she insists they cannot marry because she is his sister. Instead, Caligula marries Caesonia, a priestess and a notorious courtesan, after she bears him an heir. Drusilla reluctantly supports their marriage. Then, despite Caligula's popularity with the masses, the Senate disapproves for what seems to be light eccentricities. Darker aspects of Caligula's personality emerges when he rapes a bride and groom on their wedding day. In a minor fit of jealousy, orders Gemellus' execution so it can provoke a reaction from Drusilla. After finding out that Caesonia is pregnant, Caligula has severe fever, but Drusilla nurses him back to health. Just as he recovers, Caesonia gives birth to a daughter, Julia Drusilla, she called the child. Then during the celebration, Drusilla collapses with the same fever Caligula had. Then after that, Caligula gets another ill omen from a blackbird. Then he prays to Isis out of desperation, but Drusilla unfortunately dies from her fever, but cannot accept her death at first and has a nervous breakdown and rampages through the palace and destroys a statue of Isis while holding onto Drusilla's body. Caligula is in a deep depression, disguises himself as a beggar, and causes disturbance after watching a performance mocking his relationship with Drusilla. After a brief stay in a city jail, Caligula calls himself a god and is determined to destroy Sentinel class which he now hates. The new reign he leads is now a series of humiliations against the Rome senators and their wives, and forced to work as prostitutes, and their estates are confiscated. The old religion is now desecrated, and the army are to leave to invade Great Britain. Unable to tolerate his actions, Longus conspires with Chaerea to assassinate Caligula. Then Caligula enters where a nervous Caesonia is waiting for him. Then another blackbird appears, but Caesonia is the only one frightened by the blackbird. Then the next morning, after rehearsing in an Egyptian play, Caligula and his family are attacked in a coup led by Caesarea. Then, while leaving the stadium, Caligula's wife and daughter are murdered. Then Chaerea stabs Caligula in the stomach, and Caligula's final breath he says, "I live," and Caligula and his family's bodies are thrown down to the stadium steps, and their blood is washed off the marble floor. Then Claudius is proclaimed as the new emperor. The end. Now, my thoughts on this and the reason. First of all, you wonder why I like this film so much. I like the story. There is some parts that I don't like, which is like the raping and the stuff like that. But the story is good, because what you have to understand is this stuff was going on back in Roman days anyway. So that's what you have to understand. The whole story, the concept behind it all was absolutely fantastic. I like the way how Caligula became the emperor. I like the fact that he married Caesonia, even though he didn't want to at first. That was played by Helen Mirren. Her part was absolutely fantastic. I adored it. And you would never think Helen Mirren in a good film like this, but she done her part really well. The only part I didn't like is like how they shown in the film certain scenes, but I think how they done that, how they portrayed that, was more of a shock value, because even though I enjoyed the film for the story and certain contents, the only thing I didn't like about the film was the last bit. Is how this, like, don't get me wrong, if you're stabbing somebody in the stomach, that's alright, but they made Caligula watch him murder his own family, and I think the reason why they murdered his family, well, obviously Helen Mirren, what's her name? Yeah, the character that Helen Mirren played. Yeah, Caesonia and Julia Drusilla, which was the daughter. I didn't like how they made Caligula watch their deaths, because the reason why Julia Drusilla was killed was because she was heir to throne, and I thought that was a bit cruel. But other than that, I've really enjoyed the whole story, and you know, I do like Tinto Brass's directorial work, because he was the director to Salon Kitty, and I think, don't know if he directed The Night Porter, but don't quote me on that one, but I know he directed Salon Kitty, and I enjoyed that film. So his story work is fab. So for that reason, is this film is going to get a 8 out of 10. Only for the last bit, being the way it was, it would have got higher. But yeah, hope you enjoyed this review, and of course stay gory, have unpleasant dreams, and I will see you soon. Ta-ta for now, bye.